After 100 yards, you have reached your destination. You have reached your destination.
With your request, turn years ago now from 7 to 1 more. Sounds the 80s with Gary from 8, and he has wonderful Andy McCluskey and Paul Humphreys from OMD for 40 years. There's architecture and morality from Stop That. And sounds the nicest with Richie Neville from 5 joining tonight. BBC Radio 2, taking you all the way through a Friday. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day, despite a brisk autumn coming thy way, as the darkness approaches? What is it? Torches? No. Poachers? What, like an egg? How about we leave this to the experts? Alright, fine. Poems for thought. In celebration of National Poetry Day, we...
That was nice. Some bird there dropping 2 tons of shit on the windscreen.
I was crying watching it last night. What have you done to me? Got crying. Hello, darling.
So, welcome to Diva Springs. All looking very calm, very pretty this morning. This is the Springs pool. Crystal clear water as always, great place for stalking the bigger fish. I'm going to come down and have a good look at this first thing this morning. This is Willow. Again, there's been some very big fish reported out of here over this last week. Again, it's going to be very well worth a look this morning. So good morning boys and girls, Grandpa Chris here, back down at Diva. Just been chatting with some amazing people. People I've not met before. People telling jokes about killing their wives, burying them in the garden, but leaving their arse out on show so they got somewhere to park the motorbike. And when you start off with a sense of humour like that, you know it's going to be a good day. Okay, so after another hour of casting, I'm sitting down, back on the blob. Once again, first cast in, I've had a takedown. It didn't materialise. About 30 yards out. I've had several pulls on variations of the black and green, but nothing has stuck. It's taken down again. And fish on. At last. Let's hope it sticks. Not particularly big, but it's a fish. Looked properly in the jaw. Okay. Got him. At last. Sorry? A green egg, 3 feet under. Just drifting, yeah. So, here we go. About £3. Very, very nice too. Taken on a green buzzer, a green blob rather, about 2.5, 3 feet under. Good solid takedown. And the words "alley blinking luya" apply. So let's get it straight back out again. Thank you very much indeed. Most welcome. Of course, I managed to stick the fly up a tree on the cast, which slowed that down a bit. Right. It's been a long, long struggle. Started fishing just after 8 o'clock. It's just turned midday. May even be after midday. I'm not going to bother looking at my phone. There's another one there. I've always said there's always a way. No matter how difficult it can be, there's always a way. Currently got a spider hanging off of my hat, the brim of my hat, right in my eye line. And fish on. Yeah, my catchphrase is "there's always a way." This one's actually a little bit better. Little green buzzer with a red bead. I'll show you in a mo. I might have a spare one in my box. If I do, you're welcome to.
Yeah, okay, I've got some flies, but I've got a damsel with a little red bead on it, orange bead on it. don't think about that much.
Yeah, well, I've been casting and casting and casting till my shoulder can't cast anymore.
Yeah.
So I've put this on to give myself a bit of a break.
Seems to be working anyway.
Yeah, well, 3 chucks, 2 fish, 1 pulled out. Now I'm having surgery in 5 days' time on my shoulder, and I want there to be something there for them to have a look at.
Oh, right.
I've got a lump of metalwork floating around in my joint, which they're going to try and suck out. Oh, come on, little baby. Get your head up. No, up, not down. Yeah, he's better than the last one. Come on, matey. It won't hurt much. There we go, there's number 2. That's a much better fish. Rainbow of maybe 5.5, 6. Once again taken on the green egg pattern. It's quite nice to have something to video. And the hooks come out in the net. So there we go. Another diva rainbow. So this is what those last 2 fish have been caught on. Okay, so you've got the bung, and you've got 2 feet of line leading down to the egg fly, so it's a yellow green with a gold tungsten bead. Not quite far enough out for my liking, so I'll bring it in. And push it out again. It's roughly where the first 2 fish have come from, on the same line. Give me a chance to sit down on the bench again and enjoy my fishing. If you come off my leg, be so kind, please. Thank you. Roughly there,
Right, yeah,
on a line with the shadow of the tree,
yeah.
and it hasn't been taking them long to start suckling on it. See, it's already
Yeah,
tweaking.
yeah, to be fair, I've had a couple of my fish round about where you cast in.
Mm.
And I wasn't even, I know I'm using a hairpin fly, but I wasn't even given a chance to sink,
Yeah.
you know, with
Yeah.
enormous fish.
Yeah, well, I put a Montana on for half an hour or so, and I was getting tug after tug after tug, but they're just plucking at the end.
Ah, right, yeah.
And then I went over onto a green flash damsel. Again, just plucking the end, so I trimmed the tail to a degree, and that elicited a really solid take. That's better. That's where I want him.
Yeah, well, I suppose the fish moved to the right.
Yeah, he saw it coming, didn't he? He'll be on it.
Yeah.
But what I found is anything with a tail, they're just plucking at it, not really swallowing it.
Right, yeah,
But going on to the same colour in an egg, static, the two that I've pulled in, it's been down their throats.
Yeah, I tend to find that with the egg fly. Like if I struggle, I don't fish the indicator. I'll fish an orange egg fly, you know, and
Yeah.
they really swallow that they do.
Yeah,
I always carry forceps in my waistcoat.
yeah,
To get the fly back. But yeah,
yeah.
I seem that this spot's always a good spot for us. Always been a good
There just
spot.
seems to be that little bit just out there, whether there's a little raised weed bed or something.
Yeah, some feature for them, whether they like cruising around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always seems to do well that.
But that's where I was getting all of the takes when I was pulling the Montana and the damsel through. But as I said, they were just plucking the end. I just couldn't make them stick.
Right, yeah, yeah. Well, good luck then.
Thank you.
See if I can find one more.
Yeah, go for it. That gentleman arrived at the same time as myself this morning, and he's already had 5 fish out. He's had a double ticket. He's had 2 golden trout, absolutely magnificent. Not particularly big, 6 and 7 pound in weight, but it's just beautiful fish. Yeah, I've been getting pulls and takes on the egg. Any nearer to me than that, and it's not within the taking zone. Beyond that, where I am now, then it's almost immediate. So there must be some sort of feature out there which is holding them.
What, the egg being the fly?
Yeah, it's a green egg with a red tungsten bead, so you got that little attack point on it.
Right.
And yeah, it's proved to be quite popular over the last half an hour. But it's amazing how quick these fish wise up to something.
Well, you think you're taking them out, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I've had inquiries on every single cast.
Okay.
This is the first one where there hasn't been almost immediate inquiry on it. This morning when I was using the same tactic, I thought maybe it was the rudd or the roach, because there were a few topping in the area, and then all of a sudden it's been really positive, solid takedowns. One even straightened the loose line, which is usually a fairly positive sign. Yeah, I mean, I've spent a long time pulling a Montana through or pulling a double weighted nymph through and getting pulls, but they're only just plucking at the end. They're not taking the fly as such. So I trimmed the tail off, getting more positives, but they're just not fully committing to anything with a tail. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, it's what these little scissors are for. No, my catchphrase is there's always a way, and I will find a way. Let's see if I can get it back out there. Right, I had to put a new fly on. Unfortunately, that one disappeared, and I have a fish on. So, definitely the right method. Another one on. Different one. This one's got a yellow bead on a green fly. The red bead is stuck up a tree somewhere. I'll show you the fly in a moment. I think this might actually be brown. No, it's rainbow. I was hoping for a brown today, but never mind. It's quite a nice fish. No, don't go under there. You can come out of there, cheeky little toe rag.
Nice colour, isn't it?
Isn't it? They are beautiful fish here. Neil and the team just do such a fabulous job. I first came here about 20 years ago when I first started fly fishing, and then didn't come back until this year. And the difference is, I mean, I thought I'd driven into the wrong gateway.
Yeah. I think 15 years ago, done it once. And now my son's grown up, he wants to come here all the time.
Yeah. Well, I've got my late brother to thank for me fly fishing pleasures.
Well, he introduced you to it.
No, he died and they didn't have money for the funeral. So my wife and I said, okay, let's find a way where they're not embarrassed with the help. And that was for me to buy his fishing gear off him. And it was the cheapest, nastiest crap you could ever imagine. Oh, thank you. That's a better fish, isn't it? Okay, so there we go. This one's near about £7 or so. Again, taken on the egg fly, just under 2 feet below.
Lovely colour.
Okay, so it's taken a bit of time, but we're finally hooked up to another fish. Come back to the small yellow blob with the yellow bead and the painted eyes. And I've got myself a little rainbow trout here. Not a particularly big one, but it's the one that I need to complete the set. All being well, as long as the weed doesn't knock the hook out of its mouth, I should be okay. He's boring deep. Doesn't like the fact he's got that sharp piece of hook in his gob. Just trying to hide under the net. It's only a spirited fish. Certainly a spirited fish. He's certainly a spirited fish. He's definitely the smallest fish of the day, but he's still £3. Bang in his head. Trying to shake the hook. The hook is in the scissors on the right hand side of his mouth. It's a pretty fish. Nearly ready. It's nearly ready, so I shall pick up the net. And ready to just slide him over the net. Slide him over. That's me done. So there it is. You can just see the egg in his mouth. A fish of about 2.5 to £3. So there you go. You can see the hook just in the corner of his mouth there. That's the running hook. And it's fish number 4 of the day. It's got some sharp teeth in there. Very, very nice indeed. So let's go and get the rest. So, here we go, boys and girls. The results of my day's work today. The biggest one's about £6, £5, £4, £3. Oh, very nice. The small one will taste really nice under the grill tonight. Okay, so I'm heading back to the car now. I've got my 4 fish for today, plus the one that Peter Hussey gave me. So it's 5 nice fish to take home. Diva is just such a beautiful place to be. Like all fisheries, early in the day and late in the day it's hot, lots and lots of fish action. Middle 2 to 3 hours of the day always tends to go quiet, and then suddenly and without explanation it all just takes off again. But Friday afternoon on the M25 I don't much fancy sitting there for hours and hours and hours. So it's just before 1:30 in the afternoon and I'm going to make an early start for home and go and put a smile on my beautiful wife's face. What we'll do, I'll just show you a couple of the stock ponds where the fish are grown on. Loads of blue trout in there. Loads of blue trout. There's hundreds of them in there. And then we walk along the rills. You can't really see the rainbows. One over there taking a nap. There's 1 or 2 fish in there which have got a little bit of fungus on them. But these are all the growing on ponds. There's a lot of fish. I don't know how many tens of thousands of fish they've got on site, but this is just some of the growing on ponds. There's a lot more over between the 2 lakes. Hopefully you can see the fish swimming around here. About 20 minutes ago I heard Neil and the other guys feeding these fish, throwing the pellets in, and the water was just erupting as the fish were gorging themselves. So that's Willow Lake that we've been fishing, and Spring is the other side. I spent a little bit of time there earlier on, but there was just nothing doing, so I came back. Hello, Tom Tom. Hello, Tom Tom.
I'm listening.
Go home.
Finding a route home. You will arrive at your destination at 4:21 p.m.
ahead. Keep left.
Right, boys and girls, time to hit the road. Nice little 2-hour journey ahead of me.
At the end of the road, turn left.
And I'll be back sometime fairly soon to catch 1 or 2 of the slightly bigger fish. Thank you to Neil and the team for a beautiful day.
Turn left.
Tough to start with, but there's always a way. And heading out into the gloomy skies. So I'll catch you on the flip side.